Hey there. Just thought I'd jump in. I figured you might be on.
And I can see Sabi's in the waiting room too, which is great. I never did get the Spanish translation of the operations manual, so I emailed her today and said,
Okay.
and she wrote me back in English, no problem.
Okay.
So,
That's good to know. Yeah, well, hopefully we can get that. I mean, even if it's for a future meeting. I mean, I'm sorry about the Jamboard link. I hope so I could send that directly to Lauren to make sure she has it, or maybe you already did for the group one Jamboard.
say that one more time.
I know that the group one Jamboard link wasn't correct, so I'm happy to send the correct one directly to Lauren. But maybe you already did.
I did not.
Okay, I'll make sure to do that.
So I've got my PowerPoint slides ready to go. We have to remember to tell people to choose their language when we come back.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Let me make some notes of the reminders that I can try to make sure if you don't get to them, I can make a note so I can try to.
Me too.
Language in the beginning and when they come back.
I had a meeting with Dana. She seems like she's pretty comfortable with
Awesome.
everything. She had actually some really good pointers to remind people of, so that was good.
Awesome. I knew she would be.
Yeah. We are live, but I have paused the recording.
Oh, okay, great.
So I'll start it back up again before you start letting people in, I suppose, or maybe after you let people in.
Great. Good point. Speak correctly. And then we're expecting folks, our facilitators, to refer to the Jamboard links themselves, or do you want me to put them in the chat for folks?
I think we should put them in the chat just to be sure.
Yeah,
so they don't get lost.
that sounds great.
And I do know we have one person who won't be here today. Which one is it? Stephanie, I think, in Lauren's group, in group breakout room 1.
Okay.
So that's fine. And hopefully we'll recognize the interpreter when they.
Okay, and then I'll monitor the chat for you. And if there's a question, shall I just let you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Although I'm pretty good at looking at chat.
Okay, perfect. That was one other thing I was just thinking of, but I'm trying to remember.
There's so much.
Links, I'll put them in. I know you're managing so much with this.
I'm going to be moving pretty fast to get through these slides, but we'll see. We'll just, oh, here's Rachel. I'll let her in. And I'm going to make you a co-host.
Great. Good. Hi, Rachel. Oh, I should have gotten a professional background. I can do that before the next meeting.
Looks just fine.
I do want one like you have.
It's pretty easy. It was easier than I thought, although I can't figure it out for Teams.
Let me see if I can.
You just upload the image to the Teams channel. Yeah.
Well, do you have any questions, Rachel, where we are live, but we're not recording?
No, I'm good. I think I got it. I think I got popcorn in my teeth though.
I know, I just ate some peanut butter pretzels. Oh,
I had peanut butter too.
And I probably shouldn't have got a massage on my lunch break. Now I have to wake back
Ooh.
up.
How wonderful.
Yeah, it was pretty fabulous. Gotta fit in that wellness when I can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So once you hit record, we'll be live stream. Is that what you were mentioning?
I think we're being live streamed now, but we're not recorded. So I suppose someone could be watching us chat. Won't be recorded anywhere. So.
No worries.
And maybe I'll go ahead and share my screen with my slideshow now. That way I know it works.
Did Mady remind me you're going to show the participants how to use Jamboard, or is that something you want your facilitators to do in the small group if they want to add things themselves?
I am going to let the facilitators make that call.
Okay.
And Liz, you've got Lauren and Mark and Dana in the waiting room.
Okay. Oh, yep. Great. So I will admit those folks. I don't see Sabi. Are they still in the
I
waiting?
think they might have left.
Okay.
Maybe
Just
they
want to make sure I had the right waiting room.
and then hopped off.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Good. How are you all?
Good.
So organized.
Well,
Very organized.
we're trying.
Super helpful.
Do you have any questions, Lauren or Mark
Yeah.
or Dina?
So I just wanted to clarify, we're doing the notes on the Jamboard, or can it go either way? They can add their own and we'll capture as well.
It can go either way. You might start by sharing and saying, so I'm going to take some notes. And then if there's weird crickets or they need a little, or someone says, I want to write my own, we'll just sort of be real flexible. And I said to Dana, I think the first breakout group will be the hardest. And someone, if not a lot of people, are going to say, there isn't enough time. This is a lot of pages. I have a lot to say. And we'll just work our way through that. And if we need to spend the second breakout group on the first 16 pages, we will. And then hopefully we'll get into a rhythm. The truth is that the guidebook is almost exactly the same as the operations manual. So we'll see.
Then Liz, the new link you sent me for the Jamboard is view only.
I just changed it to editor. Thank you for
perfect.
saying
Okay.
that. I was like, I knew I forgot something.
It's okay.
It should be.
Yep, I got it now.
Good to go. I was just going to double check the others, but I think we're all good. Yep, editor.
I think what we probably don't want to do, but it might not be possible, is for them to be working on the Jamboard in between meetings. But if someone were to do that, I guess, yay for them for, wanting to invest that time.
Well, we can always lock it, like no,
Oh.
only viewing the jam boards afterwards instead
Okay.
of, so if you're wanting
Hmm,
to
okay.
invite them to do it in between, yay. If not, then I think we can put it back to viewing.
That's true.
My preference was if people were saying we'd like some time with it to just type our own notes, then we'll go ahead and sort of set that aside. But they may not. There's enough people who know a lot about Baby Promise Present that they might be just ready to go. And they've all been sent this via hard copy. They've been sent PDF. They've been told 3 or 4 times, please read, please be ready, So who knows? We'll see. Mark, how are you today?
Find my unmute here. I am doing well.
Okay. And you're just going to hang around and have a good time enjoying the meeting. And then when we go to the breakout rooms, you're going to just rotate around and pop in so that if a facilitator says someone needs help, you can come to the rescue.
I will do my best.
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
I'm being optimistic and everything will work smoothly.
Well, we have you, so it will.
So when I came in, it says it's live streaming on YouTube. Is that right?
It is. It's live streaming, but we have not started the recording yet.
Okay.
And actually, Liz, do you have the ability to hit record?
I do.
Okay, so if you want to do that in 5 minutes, you can. Now that I'm screen sharing, I don't think I have that. Oh, no, I do have it. I do have it under more.
Okay.
Resume recording. Look at that. Okay.
You got it covered, or would you like me
Yeah,
to?
I'll do it. I got
Okay.
it.
Great.
Did you know the 25th is National Muffin Day?
How do we celebrate it?
You make muffins.
No, there was such a thing. That's wonderful.
I was just like, oh, I thought that was a fun fact. I didn't
That's,
know, so I thought I'd share it in our awkward silence for a couple more minutes.
that is a really good thing to know. It's freedom to eat muffins with impunity. I mean,
That was very, very sweet day to celebrate.
and I appreciate that there's no restrictions.
So what's your favorite flavor of muffin, Rachel? And what are you going to be?
I don't usually eat a
Okay.
lot of sweets, but my husband appreciates it when I always skip bananas and they always get ripe really fast. So I make banana cake muffins.
Really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, with dark chocolate. Sometimes he
Whoa.
appreciates it.
Those are the best. I like pumpkin muffins too with chocolate.
Mhm.
That sounds really good.
Yeah,
Pumpkin,
they're
like with chocolate or like chocolate chips? in them?
chocolate chips, chocolate chips.
You've inspired me.
They're really good. When I was in graduate school, I went to a coffee house that had them and they were really good. Hi there.
Talking about
Um,
muffins.
Talking about, yeah.
Yeah, it says one of the things they do on National Muffin Day is they share muffins with others, like a type of
Oh.
connection is what I'm reading. So I thought that was a really sweet opportunity to connect in a different way with people.
March 15th, you say?
Nope, this month on the 25th.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
February 25th. All right. Well,
Yeah.
we have 5 days to
You gotta start baking.
Yeah. That was fun. Hashtag give muffins, it says. Hashtag give muffins is what the social media is. That's really cute.
I have someone in the waiting room. What do you think, Mady? Should we have folks start joining now or?
I think you should wait until
Okay,
3:29 and let's hope that, I'm wondering where the interpreter is. I got some emails saying that there was one and I sent the emails with the.
My helpers just got home from school, so getting them settled.
Maybe would it be most beneficial to wait until the interpreter is here before even starting, or what's the kind of protocol for that?
Well, we don't really have time to wait. I'm just looking in the list to see who it was. Might have been RAEH 76190. I guess I could check.
Should I go ahead and let Kate in 3:29?
Sure, I'm going to start the recording again.
All right.
Oh, here comes the person.
All right, I'm letting folks in as they join.
The interpreter is Lizette, and she just emailed me and I sent her the link again.
Great.
Welcome, everybody. Okay, so is my screen sharing working? Yay.
Yes.
Great. Welcome to everyone who is just logging on. Hopefully you can see my little welcome slide. If there's any technical difficulties you're having, if you can put them in the chat, we will be glad to try and help you troubleshoot. Mary Margaret still trying on the Chromebook. And we will get started in just a few minutes as we get more participants logged in. Yondella doesn't have control over your mic or your video.
My only suggestion is to log out and try logging back in, but maybe Mark
Yeah.
would have a better suggestion. Yeah, I'll
That's a good suggestion.
I just admitted the interpreter, maybe.
Great. Lizette, great. Glad she was able to get there. Welcome, anybody who's just joining.
Hello, this is Liz Reyes, the Spanish interpreter.
Hi, Liz.
Hello.
The other Liz Houck, is going to make sure that it says Spanish in your name, which it does say interpreter there. That's great. And it looks like we're looking for about 3 more people. I know there's at least one person who couldn't be here today. Yondella, I'm hoping you were able to get control over your mic and video. Looks like Mary Margaret got the Chromebook to work. Okay, well, it's about 3:35 and our agenda is a little bit tight, as you may have noticed. Oh, she's going to try another device. I'm so sorry, Yondella. And so Sabi, okay, Sabi is here. So Liz, you'll, yes, want to put the interpreter in the channel and remind everyone to, hopefully at the bottom of your screen, there's a little globe and you can choose your language.
I think maybe you need to put Liz in the channel since you're the host.
Oh,
And then I hope that the globe will appear for folks.
Aún no se activa el canal de español, por eso todavía no se ve para la selección de idioma. Pero en un momento más me asignan a mí que voy a ser su intérprete y en ese momento se estará apareciendo ya el canal o la selección de idioma.
Gracias.
Did I do it? I think I did it.
I see the globe on my menu, and I think everyone else should as well. So
Okay, Liz R has given us a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, it looks like Yandella's waiting in the waiting room. She's back trying again. So frustrating to have technical difficulties. But we also have Mark here, our IT wonder person. So if anyone has any difficulties, they can reach out to Mark. So I'm going to get started. If you're having any trouble with anything, Mark just gave us a crazy face. Please feel free to chat Mark or chat Liz how she is at the controls of this ship that we are endeavoring to kick off. And so welcome to this RAC meeting. This is pretty darn exciting. Just as a little reminder, our next two meetings are next Tuesday, February 27th, and then the Tuesday following, March 5th. Same time, same channel, 3:30 to 5. And I will send you reminder emails as we go. And we're going to do some introductions in just a minute, but I want to make sure that everyone is comfortable with the technology that we're using today, because I know some of it is a little bit more complicated. First, if you don't know how to, you can put your name in the participants list, which you should see at the bottom of your screen. And if you want to put your preferred pronouns in there and the agency that you're from or the group that you're representing, that would be wonderful. I'm wondering if, does anyone have any questions about getting their name in the participants list or how to change that? Everybody looks like they're doing okay. And then selecting the language preference, there should be the globe at the bottom of your screen. Hopefully everyone has been able to choose their preference. And then a couple more IT things. There's a chat button at the bottom of your screen when you want to type something in the chat for somebody. The mute button, which lets you mute and unmute so that you can talk and we can hear you. And there's the place where you can raise your little virtual hand. And if you're using a PDF copy of this operations manual that I sent you, and I hope you all got it via the United States Post Office. So you should have a hard copy and a virtual copy. I just wanted to remind you that if you don't have more than one screen, if you're just working on one screen, you can toggle back and forth between this Zoom meeting and that PDF copy of the document if you don't have the hard copy in front of you. And toggling is pretty simple. You just put your thumb on the Alt key and then put your finger on the Tab key and hold them both down. And then if you click the Tab key, you'll be able to move back and forth between screens on your computer. So your choice. I just wanted to mention that little tip. Any questions on that? And again, Mark, our amazing IT person, is in the background if you need any help at all. Mark can help. Okay, if you need to leave, you can just say in the chat, oh, I have to go. And I'll check in with you via email. If you need help, please ask. If you need to step away, just feel free to turn your camera off and take care of whatever you need to take care of. And when we're in our breakout rooms, Mark will be moving around, making sure that everybody is sorted out, because we will be using a Jamboard. So we're using some IT, and he'll be moving around to help anyone who needs some help. And just so you know, to comply with public meeting law, these meetings are being recorded, and we are recording now on the Early Learning YouTube channel. So the breakout rooms will also be recorded, and those little clips will be edited by our webmaster and placed in the live meeting area for DELC. So there we are on that piece. So I just wanted to take a minute to introduce each other and to say hello. I just learned from Rachel, who was on this meeting, that February 25th is national, or is it global? National, perhaps, Muffin Day. So really thrilled about this, and it would be great if you want to put your favorite muffin flavor into the chat so that we can all make each other muffins. Rachel says that we are encouraged to make our friends muffins for National Muffin Day. Here we go. Poppy seed is great. I had said that pumpkin chocolate is my favorite. I like pumpkin. Yes, Mary Margaret. Chocolate with chocolate chips. Oh, from Costco. Yeah. Lemon poppy seed. These are all good. This is really exciting news, I think, that there is such a thing as a day for just unimpeded eating of baked goods. I think it's really, really wonderful. Totally made my day. Cinnamon, yes, cinnamon is so good. Blueberry is so good. So thank you for all of those. And let's just take a minute and introduce ourselves. What I'll do is I'll introduce myself. Oh yes, strawberries, fresas, delicious. And then I will popcorn it to somebody else, and they can, we'll just move it along that way. So my name's Mady Rosengarten. I work here at DELC. I manage the Baby Promise program. And what I'm going to do is pop over to, who should I pop over to? I shall pop over to Taya, because she's next to me in my box.
Hi, I'm Taya Noland. I am the Director of Care Connections, our child care resource and referral for Coos and Curry counties. And I'm supposed to popcorn it too? All right. Well, I see Jessica next, so I'll hand it over to Jessica Porter.
Hi, I'm Jessica Porter. I'm the Family Community Engagement Coordinator for the South Coast Regional Early Learning Hub, and we currently hold the Baby Promise enrollment contract from our local CCR&R, and I will pass it to Lauren.
Hello, I'm Lauren Sigmund. I'm a preschool specialist and I work for DELC. I will send it to Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen Prow. I'm the Director of Neighbor Impact Child Care Resources over in Central Oregon, and I will pass to Sydney.
Hello, I'm Sydney. I am the Baby Promise Specialist at Neighbor Impact Child Care Resources in Central Oregon, and I will go ahead and pass it off to Henry.
Hello, I am Henry. I am the Child Care Partnerships Manager for the CCR in Multnomah County. And I'll go to Liz.
Hi there, my name is Liz Hauk, and I work for DELC. I'm on the programs team. I work with Mady. I focus mostly on the Oregon prenatal to kindergarten program, and I'm here to support and excited to be here. And I'll pass it to Rachel Elliott. I think maybe there's more than one Rachel, but.
Hi, I'm Rachel Elliott. I work at the Department of Early Learning and Care. I'm the Head Start Collaboration Specialist, and I did I misspoke. Today is actually the National Muffin Day, but a lot are celebrating on the 25th. So I wanted to share my mistake with everyone and correct it. And why don't I pass it to Rachel or Rochelle as well? I'm sorry if I didn't say your name right.
Hi, my name's Rachel Lamette. I'm the president of ASME 132 local. And I am a certified family in Salem, Oregon. And I'll pass it. The person I see is Liz Hackett.
Sure, I just went, but I'll pass it over to Sabi.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Sabi Velasco. Radico en el condado de Washington County y tengo 2 casas certificadas. En una soy la proveedora y también soy la primera vicepresidenta de local 132 de Child Care Providers de ASME. Y gracias por esta invitación y por ser parte de esto.
And so,
oh, go ahead, maybe.
Yep, who do we have left? Mina.
Hello, my name is Mina Smith from Early Learning Multnomah Hub.
I'm worried Yondella's not able to access, is not able to unmute. So I could read out Yondella's introduction if needed.
Okay, go right ahead. Yes.
I see Yondella put in the chat, Yondella Hall. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm a family advocate coordinator currently, and I've been working with families in their own for the past 17 years in Portland. Thank you.
And let's see, I know Mary Margaret hasn't gone. Can you hear us still, Mary? Yes, you can.
I can. I'm Mary Margaret Stockard. I live in Coos Bay, and I work with a preschool promise program called Little Pirates Preschool.
Who did we hear from? Sydney? Yes. And Sabi and Rachel and Henry. Who didn't we hear from? Anybody? We get us all? Awesome. All right, well, now this is our agenda for today. Basically what it says is that I'm gonna talk to you about Baby Promise for another 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm going to talk to you about the rule set that we are discussing and what's happening and the timeline for that. And then at, I hope, 4:05, we will go into some breakout rooms where you'll get a chance to work with a facilitator and make some comments on these documents. So let me keep going on my slideshow here. And yes, Liz, go ahead and do what you need to do. So I'm hoping everybody can see the slide. Yes, I think you can. So in this presentation, I'm going to give you some background about Baby Promise. Some of you know a lot about Baby Promise, others may know very little. So I'm going to try and give you an overview that makes sense and tell you about the structure of the program since its implementation and the proposed rule set. The proposed rule set is really the primary reason for our RAC meeting, but I want you to understand a bit about Baby Promise before we get to that place. You may have some questions as we go. Please hang on to them because there will be time for me to answer them. So Baby Promise, these are the objectives of the Baby Promise program since its inception and as it operates now. It's really one of DELC's answers to the childcare desert that I'm sure you are all familiar with. The broad objectives of the program include increasing the supply of infant toddler providers by stabilizing programs that already offer infant and toddler care, and by supporting programs that are beginning to offer infant and toddler care or want to expand the services that they have. Baby Promise also aims to increase the quality of infant toddler care and expand family choice, especially in communities who have been historically marginalized and underserved. So when did the program get started? As you can see on this timeline, the program began being envisioned in 2018, working with CCR&Rs early in the timeline. The RFPs and selection for the 3 at the time pilot regions went out, and really Baby Promise operated mostly in the pandemic. So that was kind of a big chunk of the beginning of Baby Promise. There's 2 elements of this timeline that I really want to draw your attention to. And the first is the collaboration with CCR&Rs. They are the grantees in the Baby Promise program, and they have been deeply involved. Their expertise, their intimate knowledge of the working world of early care and education has been critical, sorry about the barking dog, in the development and success of Baby Promise. I'll be more specific about CCR&Rs later, and we'll be looking at that operations manual that is for CCR&Rs. But I want to highlight how important they have been and continue to be as partners in Baby Promise. The second item I kind of want to highlight on this timeline is the work with 0 to 3. As you may know, 0 to 3 is a national nonprofit that provides parents, professionals, and policymakers the knowledge and the know-how to nurture early development. 0 to 3's mission is to ensure that all babies and toddlers have a strong start in life. And the 0 to 3 institution offers training to those in the early learning field. Training early educators in the 0 to 3 competencies has been really important part of the work for DELC and for CCR&Rs. It's an intensive child development curriculum. It is steeped in individualized relational practice for early educators that includes training in how to use specific embedded supports as they care for infants and toddlers. And so for those who are called to this work with our youngest children, these practices and learnings really add elements of what we identify as high quality in our field. And you'll note that as you go through this operations manual and as we talk, this term quality and high quality is used. And I wanted to just state that 0 to 3 is a very foundational element of our description of what high quality can look like. It comes from that. So let's see, I think that was all on this slide. So let me tell you a little bit more about how the program is structured. The CCR&Rs employ technical assistance staff specifically for Baby Promise, who train 0 to 3, who work with providers and participate in intimately with providers and with programs. So where is Baby Promise? Currently, DELC is administering these grants with the CCR&Rs in each of these 3 regions that you can see in green on this map. Oh, Yondella's back. I hope she can hear now. Yay! The CCR&Rs subcontract with programs and providers, and they use the model of slots, enrollment slots for Baby Promise. These slots are full-time, full-year care for families. So that's 12 months of full-time care. And diapers, formula, and food for the children enrolled in these slots is provided by the provider. And the goal is for families to utilize the program full-time. So a little bit about who Baby Promise families are and who the providers are. So first, remember that to participate in Baby Promise, families must be eligible and enrolled in ERDC. They need to have a child who is 6 weeks to 3 years of age. And a little bit about enrollment. Families are identified either through DHS or the CCR&R. In one region, the local hub does the enrollment work. So in all three regions, the CCR&Rs are working closely with DHS, maybe with their local hub, to identify and assist families for whom Baby Promise is a fit. And they communicate with their communities about the Baby Promise program. So this slide describes a little bit about how the funding works. There's been a lot of questions about that, so I wanted to just provide an example to you. So in this example, this certified family provider who is registered to accept ERDC funds, providers have to be registered to accept those funds, has a subcontract with the CCR&R for up to 2 slots in her zip code. Remember, ERDC rates are attached to geography. Everybody probably is aware of that in this group. So the provider receives vouchers from ERDC each month, and she receives the rest of her monthly subsidy amount from the CCR&R, such that she's receiving the same total amount each month per slot in her 12-month subcontract with the CCR&R. And you can see that the ERDC amounts are different. They can be very different depending on the family, the age of the child, and other factors that play into being eligible for ERDC. So what kinds of providers are serving Baby Promise? This shows you the different kinds of providers and programs. We do offer a fairly nice range of mixed deliveries to families, and providers get connected to CCR&Rs typically by reaching out to them, or by CCR&Rs reaching out to providers who they think might be ready to be a Baby Promise program. As the program is going along, more providers are interested in Baby Promise as they hear about it. So programs apply, they complete readiness intake form, CCR&R staff do a site visit to review the details of the program with them, and then they enter into, if they're ready, a 12-month subcontract that allows for up to a predetermined number of slots. So that's kind of who the range of providers are, and the number of children served between 22 and 23, you can see there. So let's take a look at enrollment. So you can see that enrollment both for children and for providers has grown fairly steadily, even through the pandemic. Baby Promise was inching its way up, and that has been really exciting. We do experience slight fluctuations because for the regions, all the regions, I should say, maintain a waiting list, both for families and for providers, because it's family choice is first, right? So sometimes there's a provider with a slot, but a family who doesn't want to choose that provider, maybe because of location or whatever. So there needs to be a good match there between the provider and the family, which means that for our 3 current regions, there's often a waiting list, both in the provider lane and in the family lane, while those connections get made. So how are we doing with those main objectives that I spoke about earlier? We're doing really well. And I just want to again sort of highlight this term high quality in the context of Baby Promise. I didn't speak a whole lot about the things that providers and programs are required to do to become Baby Promise programs. You're going to see that in the documents that you've read and will read. But there are many things. They need to be in the top 2 tiers of SPARK, 4 or 5 stars. They utilize a regular curriculum. They complete regular developmental screenings of children and assessments for children's growth and development that they then use to individualize curriculum and to plan their programs. So there's a lot of ways that these programs are demonstrating this term that we use, high quality, through reflective practice. And that is really also connected to their colleagues at the CCR&Rs. That relationship between the two is very important and has a lot to do with how we observe, identify, and say, this is a high quality program. We see lots of thoughtfulness, curiosity, and interest in continued growth and development, in addition to all the sort of check boxes that programs and providers are required to do. Okay, so that's kind of my spiel about Baby Promise. So before I talk about the rule set, does anyone have any questions? You can feel free to just unmute. So far, so good. We're hanging in there. You have some water? Okay. Or tea or something. All right, so moving on to the work here in our RAC committee. This is just a little bit of a reminder about what this is all about. So statute, rule, and the role of the Early Learning Council. So a statute is a law passed by the legislature. And a rule, or an OAR, Oregon Administrative Rule, are the rules by which state agencies and subunits operate. So they are the strategies that we use to carry out the goals established by the statutes. So rules have the power of law, and they apply to participants in programs run by DELC. The participants must follow the rules, such as the requirements for OPK or licensed childcare, preschool promise, and now hopefully Baby Promise. Baby Promise is already in statute, but it does not have a rule set yet. The Early Learning Council is a unique group. It coordinates the early childhood system. It oversees the implementation of our early learning initiatives, including rulemaking authority for DELC. So what that means is that these rules that we are proposing for Baby Promise have to first go to the Early Learning Council before they go anywhere else. The status of our rules are that they were proposed. Some rules were proposed in 21-22, but they did not make it onto the docket and were not approved by the ELC. So our steps here are to adopt a rule set for Baby Promise, and then, which are the two documents that we're going to be discussing here, and then create a larger rule set for adoption in perhaps 2025. So what's being presented to the ELC are these 4 simple rules. These 4 simple rules point to the 2 documents that this RAC is reviewing. So the first one is about the purpose of Baby Promise. The second is child and family eligibility criteria. The third is provider eligibility, and the fourth is about administration. So this is a placeholder framework that the agency will work with for the next year or 2, and then an updated permanent rule set will be brought before DELC. And this is because Baby Promise has not had a rule set since it started, and it really needs one. So those are the 4 rules. This is the, oops, I need to change your screen. Sorry. The first rule is the purpose, which just states what the purpose of the Baby Promise program is, which is to increase and sustain the supply and availability of high-quality infant and toddler care for marginalized families furthest from opportunity. The second rule states that child and family eligibility criteria will be outlined in the operations manual distributed to child care resource and referral entities. That's the one we're going to discuss today and probably next week as well. The third rule states that the department will designate the guidebook for providers to be used for compliance with the Baby Promise program so that providers understand the requirements of Baby Promise. And that's the document that I'll be sending to you this week, and we will hopefully start to review next week. We'll see. And then the final rule states that the operations manual will be used for compliance with the Baby Promise program administration requirements and standards. And in the rule set, there will be a link to these two documents, to a PDF of these two documents. So where are we now in this rather complex system? Here we are at RAC meeting number 1. There will be a public session on March 11th, a public engagement session for these rules. I will be presenting Baby Promise rules and more about Baby Promise to the Early Learning Council next week on February 27th. We will finish our work as a RAC, and I will collect your input and the comments you have made. Any changes that are made to the two documents will be made. And then I will come back to the Early Learning Council on March 27th to talk about our process and what it resulted in. They will then vote, and if they vote for this, then these rules will become effective on April 1st. Ooh, questions?
Yo tengo una pregunta, Liz, ¿verdad? ¿Todos los documentos que se compartan aquí va a ser proveído en español o solamente en inglés?
And I can't hear the interpreter, Liz, because I don't have the little globe. Liz Hauk.
Mady, the question was, will the documents that we are reviewing going to be provided in Spanish?
Yes, and I was hoping to have the Spanish operations manual today to send to Sabi. I'm going to see if I can get it so that I can email it to her and send her a hard copy this week. And then as soon as the guidebook is finished, I will send her that too. Unfortunately, the translations are taking longer than anticipated. But yes, the answer to that is yes. More questions about either Baby Promise or what we're doing here in this committee? Okay. So what's up next? What time are we at? We're doing great. So what we're going to do now is we are going to break into some small groups. You will have a facilitator who's going to take notes, and that person will have a Jamboard link, and you'll be able to see the prompts that we're going to ask you to respond to. So all you really need to do is mute and unmute to converse with your colleagues. And Mark will be moving around between the groups to make sure that there aren't any technical difficulties. We're starting with 10-minute groups, and I know that that's not a lot of time. So we'll just kind of get started and see how we go, and just know that our watchword here is flexibility as we move along. I wanted to just remind you, these are the prompts. And these will be on the Jamboard. You'll be able to see them, and they are the same prompts for every piece of the document that we're reading. So you will become more familiar with them after we start to really talk through, the materials. And let's see, are there any questions, or are you feeling ready to go? The first thing you're going to do is look at pages 1 through 16. And if you have some notes that you took already, that's great. If you don't, we'll get it figured out and your facilitator will help you. And we will go for the full 10 minutes to give the small groups a chance to work together. So Liz Hauk, unless you have any comments.
Nope, I'm just gonna put the links now for each of the Jamboards, just the note-taking tools in the chat, but I know facilitators have those as well. And then I'm gonna send folks off to breakout rooms.
Thank you so much. And we'll let you know when you have a few minutes left.
Oh, you may maybe need to, can you remove Liz from the channel so that I could, or Liz R, I don't know if you got an invitation to join a breakout room, but we would love if you could join Sabi there, or I don't know if that came through, but. Yeah, I invited you to join the same group as Sabi so that you could support her with interpretation there. Did you see an invitation to join that breakout room? Oh. I hope that works okay.
I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I think maybe she was unsure if she should join. Uh-oh, what's going on with this?
So Mark, can you?
Dana says she needs permission to record. Are you getting any messages about that?
No.
Please ask the host to give you permission to record.
Tell her just to go ahead and don't worry about it. Did we make her a co-host?
Let's see. I don't know that I can even tell, to be honest.
No, that we can't either at this point.
Participants, let me see.
Mark, can you go check on that?
I would. I'm not seeing the breakout rooms available to me.
I can put you in there, Mark. Is that okay?
Sure.
And Mark, you make him can you make him a co-host?
Oh, actually, I don't know that I can. Can I add?
Oh, I can.
Oh, here I can, but you can. Either way.
I did. He is now.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then
there
I'm
we
going
go.
to put him with
Sorry.
with Dana, who has the question.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. But maybe can you make sure that Dana's a co-host?
I can't see her.
You can't see her. I could try to take her out.
Since there's one unassigned participant.
I think it's myself.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it
Is
then. Yep, it's you. Dana looks like she's in group 3.
I could pull her back here for you to sign her co-host. I don't know if that's how it works, but.
Oh, so we have one facilitator too many.
How so?
Because are there only 2 groups? No, there are 3
There's
groups.
3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, forget it. Don't listen to me. I didn't scroll.
It's going great so far. I wonder who, can I see who that goes? I might have to, oh, since Mark is a co-host, he can come back when he wishes, I guess. So I'm sure if I need to get him back out or if he can come out on his own.
I think he can do whatever he wants to do. We just forgot to make him a host.
Got it.
Let's ask the host. Wonder why she couldn't record. Oh, are we paying attention to the time? We started at like 4:10.
Or yeah, I think so. 4:07 I almost wanted to say, but
Not very long.
yeah, so we give a little bit extra
Give it a little
time,
extra, yeah.
maybe to 4:20 or something.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's not very long. Wow.
it's not very long. I
can
worried.
look at the Jamboards and see how folks are doing. That's
Okay.
peek in there. We've only got notes on the first question for group 1. Same for group 2. No notes yet for group 3. I don't know if they're
Well, then let's
on some tech stuff.
let them work. Yeah.
Maybe when we come back from this breakout room, just double check that Dana's a co-host. so that we can see if that resolves it for the next round.
It's interesting that we can't see that anywhere. Now I have the ability to broadcast. So I'm going to broadcast a message that says, going to give you a little more time.
I'm going to go in. I think Dana's having more tech trouble, so I might go in there. Is that okay?
Okay.
How much longer do we need here?
At least 5 minutes, I think.
All right, I'm going in.
Mark, was everybody doing all right?
Everybody seemed to be doing all right. I mean, Dana's question was simply about the permission to record, and I'm not sure why that's not working, if she's not a co-host or what's going on.
It may have been that we forgot to make her a co-host, but I can't. I don't think, let me see, because she's not on my participants list anymore. She's in the breakout room.
Yeah, I think just not worry about it right now. I just told her to go ahead and just run the meeting.
Yep.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Otherwise, everything else seems to be going okay. I visited the other rooms. Everybody was engaged with discussion.
Great.
you're probably already thinking about it, but just a reminder to put the interpreter back in the channel when they come back.
No, I was not thinking about it. Thank you. So Liz R, Spanish to English, or is it English to Spanish? Spanish. Add interpreter. Start.
And we could give another reminder to folks to choose
Yes.
the language they are participating in by clicking on the globe.
Welcome back. I believe that I have placed Liz in the interpretation channel, and don't forget to choose your preferred language on your globe. So I'm wondering how that went for you. I went ahead and gave you some extra time because I knew this first breakout was going to be probably the roughest for trying to look at those prompts and look at all those pages, no matter how many times you've read them. So we have another about 25 minutes. And so I think what I'd like to do is hear from each group about kind of how it went, just a couple minutes about maybe there's some top things that you just want to let everybody know that you talked about. And then we can decide as a group if you would like to move on to the next section of the manual in small groups, or kind of where you're at with that, because I want you to feel like you've had the time you need. So I'll be quiet and let each group, whoever's been brave enough to volunteer, to share.
We talked about providing a transition plan for children when they become no longer eligible because of ERDC eligibilities, and how we've got there's a full page for when kids turn 3, but there's not really any discussion about support for when they become income ineligible.
Great comment.
We also talked about the residency requirement, the note in there that it has to be within the Baby Promise County. I know this may already be an issue with Multnomah County, but now that we're like in Lapine and we have folks who may live just 10 minutes down the road, might be in a county that's not technically within our Baby Promise counties. So seeing how that might be an issue going forward.
Another good one. Thank you. How about that last group?
Well,
Oh,
go ahead, please. No.
No.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, hey, Mary Margaret. I was just going to mention the group that I was able to facilitate talked a lot about accessibility, whether it's for the providers or the families, around like making sure we're providing documents in the language of families' preferred home language, as well as the responsiveness as family choice came up, thinking about the zip code requirement and the amount of choices or Baby Promise slots that could be available for that family choice. So that was a really, we talked a lot about that cultural responsiveness around that. And please group jump in if I summarized not the best way.
And I was just going to say that we had a lot of technical difficulties, so we didn't talk very much. But there was a question about kind of why is transportation not reimbursable when, when some places things are far away and expensive for providers to get supplies or for families to get to providers.
So transportation as a prohibited expense, is that what you were responding to? That it's listed in the prohibited expenditures?
Right.
I see. Great, great.
And we also just said that the ERDC requirement may make some people who are wary of the system automatically ineligible.
Yeah. Very true. So given though all of those are really great comments, my question to you now is, do you feel that you would like to spend another 10 minutes on those first 16 pages? Do you feel like you would like some more time working together on the first part of this document? I'm looking for some thumbs up, some thumbs down for someone to, come on, Yandela. What are you thinking? You don't know. Not sure. Sabi is giving us a thumbs up for more time on the first part, just to sort of start to get a sense of a rhythm, a way to go.
I was going to say that it felt like we started really high level, like almost just baby promise in general for a little bit, because it's hard to jump straight into words when we're still getting on our feet around the big concept. So it might be that drilling down into the language a little bit more would be a good thing.
Okay, let's do it. And who's to say you can't move forward? The Jamboard has the slides there. If you just zip through those 16 pages and you want to talk about something on page 17, go right ahead. There's nothing stopping you. So why don't we, Liz, go back into the same breakout rooms that we were in the first time, so we won't mix everybody up so they have to get to know other new people and feel worried about that. And we'll give you another like 10 or 15 minutes. Okay. And if you want to work ahead, go right ahead. And your facilitators can also provide you the link to the Jamboard if there's something you want to write yourself. So take it away, Liz, and tell me what I forgot.
That sounds great. I just put the links again one more time there, and I think we will jet off.
I'll give people a minute to settle, then I'll make a tour around again.
Okay, I'm wondering why Mina didn't get put into a room. Mina should be in room 2.
I was about to say, I think room 2, because I had a message pop up saying I was being moved to room 2, and it's probably, they clicked my name instead of Mina's.
How do I move her to room 2? There she goes. Did you do that, Mark?
I did not. She might have figured it out. Could have heard us talking, maybe.
Yeah. No, she's in the waiting room. Maybe Mina got kicked out.
Could be.
Hi, Mina. We need to get you to, you were in breakout room 2, I think. We need to get you back there. You're muted.
Yes, 2.
2, okay. How do we get her to room 2, Mark? There we go. All right.
I think in general it's going well. I think, you were right, of course. The first breakout's going to be the most chaotic.
Yeah, I knew that was, I really had a strong feeling. You just never know.
All right, well, I'm going to tour around and see who's
Okay.
doing what.
Thank you. Did you leave on purpose?
No, it wasn't on purpose. I was in my breakout room for the first round, and first it wouldn't let me record, and then it wouldn't let me, the Jamboard wasn't working. And so Liz came in, Liz Hauk, and saved the day. And in the meantime, I had to shut down everything, my internet.
Oh.
So first I shut down my internet browser, and then I opened it back up, and well, actually it wouldn't let me open it back up. So I just had to restart. And so now I'm back.
I wonder, because I could not figure out why you wouldn't have been able to do that. I was working on trying to figure out why you couldn't record.
Yeah, I can show you what it did when I tried to record. It said that I had to ask the host for permission.
I know, I saw your screenshot.
Oh, okay.
But, so did you actually completely leave the Zoom and come back just now?
So I didn't leave the Zoom on purpose.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I came back on purpose.
I'm making you were a co-host before. You were.
Yeah.
So I just made you one again, just in case.
Okay.
But I wonder if your computer was being funny.
I think so. It had been going slow. I was apparently using like 94% of my computer's memory. So it was bound to happen eventually. It just was really bad timing to happen in the middle of this.
Well, it all worked out. As I told you, it all works out just fine in the end.
I know. I remembered that. Like, you know what? Mady said it's going to be okay. So I don't need to stress.
No need to stress. I'm just, thank you so much for being willing to. And I completely forgot to say all the things you told me I should say. So I was like, oh my gosh.
You did great though. So don't worry about it. I think it's totally fine and it's going well. And there's another one of these next on Thursday.
Tuesday.
Oh, next week on Tuesday.
Yeah, there are 3 Tuesdays in a row.
Gotcha. Well, I feel so bad that yes, I was willing to help, but then couldn't actually help when
No.
the time came. So
It actually, it really all worked out because you reminded me to remind people about Jamboards and to remind people that the facilitators are not experts. And now if someone gets sick next week and I have someone who needs to step in, I'll look at that video thing again, because I'm wondering if it has to, if it's something that I switched when I was in Zoom itself. I mean, in order to set this meeting up, you have to go to Zoom. You can't do it in your calendar.
mhm.
So I don't know. It's a good thing to check.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I've got more availability next week and the following week
Okay.
for being a backup.
Well,
should
maybe
be needed.
pencil us in if you're willing to come back for more. And because
Yeah, for sure.
it's quite possible someone will not be able to. And if you want to go leave now, you're more than welcome to. You could go ahead and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
All right. Well, I guess that works. I'll get a couple more things wrapped up before the end of the day. And if you want to just send me the series for next Tuesday and the Tuesday after that so that they're on the calendar.
I will, and I'll make sure that I've gone all the way in and see if there's something I need to click there. So
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Mady.
Take care.
Bye. You too.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I hope that felt a little bit better, a little bit like you were able to actually get in there and do some thinking and talking together. We've just got about 5 or 6 more minutes. So again, were there any main topics or something that a member of each group would like to mention right now in our last remaining minutes before we close?
¿Puedo hablar yo? Ok. Una de las cosas más discutidas en el grupo que estuve es acerca de los límites de aseguranza para las familias registradas y certificadas, ya que estaba mencionando una persona que $10,000 la aseguranza por un año, eso es un costo muy, muy alto. Entonces, ¿cómo se puede hacer para que hagan esos cambios para que lo que pide Baby Promise es muy alto? Entonces, ¿cómo pueden bajar eso para que así, porque se está gastando mucho en aseguranzas? Entonces, ¿cómo se puede hacer para que las aseguranzas no estén tan altas?
Yes, thank you. Very well said. That is something that we are definitely been aware of and talking about at DELC for a little while now and with our CCR&Rs. So thank you for that. Thank you for bringing that forward. Any other new topics? Okay, so here's what we will go right ahead, Nina.
Yeah, I was just curious that I didn't see in the manual is the onboarding procedures. So if you know, like, okay, you are eligible providers, you're eligible, you sign a contract. Okay, from that moment till actually providing a service, are there a training required or offered? Just thinking, it's like, okay, if you were a home care provider and you're just going to have a 2 baby, just practically, and then you have to do USDA, you have to do, you know, the Wonder School, you have to do TS Gold, and you have to do a lot of technical things, just dumped it on the provider, but I just don't see any training that they would go through before. So I don't know. I think those are most important things that we can't assume that, especially with non-English speaking providers, we can just assume they're gonna get it. They will understand it. Like every steps are going to be more challenging for them than the English speaking providers. And home care provider has a lot more challenges than huge center, you know, multiple location centers director to participate in those programs. And I'm curious to how much of leg up supports are provided before, because that can be overwhelming.
Thank you. That's absolutely right. And that's a great comment. And thank you for getting it added to the Jamboard. I hope that when we get a chance for you to look at the guidebook, you will see some of that in the guidebook for providers. And then there's a little bit more, I think, in this operations manual too, but that's a great point and one that we will definitely take a look at. Thank you. Very true. And I think that would help the CCR&Rs as well to have some of that articulated. a little bit. So thank you. Wonderful comments. So here's what I need in our last 2 minutes. Give me a thumbs up. Do you need more time on pages 1 through 16? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Down. Okay. All right. So when we come back next week, I'm going to send you probably 2 emails because, as you can tell, I send emails with lots of instructions to remind everyone. We will move on in this operations manual. We will continue this same way of doing the breakout rooms. Give me a thumbs up. Do you like the smaller breakout rooms, or do you want to try and all work together in one room? One room, Mary Margaret? Yondella? No?
I'm one room or small room. I'm open.
I like small groups because I think you get more diversity of responses.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll do an agenda for us for next week. Our goal, of course, is to try to get through both of these rather long documents in 3 meetings. So, but I really don't want you to have to skim or feel like you didn't have an opportunity to really get to something. So I'll send you an email, I'll send you the agenda, and we'll take it from there. I really want to thank you for taking part in this. It's so important, and it's so wonderful to get your comments and feedback. I really appreciate it. And we will see you all in a week. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, great. Good. Thank you.